It is spoken about all the sacraments, and so we had started speaking about wedding. Because it's a beautiful and important sacrament, we have a good number of lessons about it. We are page 127. If you don't have the book, no worries, it's not a problem. I will read for you. You will know, if you can sit close next to someone who has the book, it can maybe help here. Yeah, we have a book here. Charles, maybe you will sit on his right hand. Yeah, on your left. So, and today we speak about the sins against marriage. It's not the most interesting topic, but it's an important one because there is so much confusion about it. Let's go straight page 128. First, I start by the list of sins against marriage, and then I will explain. There is so much ignorance about it today. So what are the sins against marriage? Refusing the marriage debt, I will explain. Unlawful separation, divorce, it's a sin, it's bad, divorce. Sinful company keeping, adultery, birth control, abortion, sterilization. We could have said also fornication. So all these sins are sins against marriage. Let's explain now. What is the marriage debt? The marriage debt means that a married person, so if you are married in church, as it should be, is obliged under penalty of mortal sin to give his or her married partner sexual intercourse whenever it is reasonable asked for. There are some exceptions. Okay? Lawful excuses for refusing could be adultery, sickness, drunkenness, insanity, non-support, danger to an unborn baby. So it means that if you are married with someone in church, the goal of the marriage is to procreation and education of children. If your partner is asking you for this sexual intercourse, you cannot say no. Okay, because you cannot change your mind and marry someone else. You cannot say no. You have to accept. But there could be some exception. If this person is drunk, of course you can say no. No, it's good. We keep common sense. We are not robots. Okay, we keep common sense. Someone is very sick, has a very dangerous sickness. Okay, you can say heal first. We will see you later. Drunkenness. Someone has committed adultery. You can say no. Okay, then you repent, and then I will see you later. Insanity. Someone who has completely abandoned his wife. Danger to an unborn baby. But it's something it's good to know when we are married. It's a duty. It's a duty. Should married person always insist on the right to intercourse? No. Okay. Because a marriage cannot be successful unless it is founded on love and unselfishness. We need generosity. Marriage is not only about sexual intercourse. It's not only about that. Okay, we are not only animals. You know, we need this charity. We need this love. We need this generosity in the family. So, the husband who sees that his wife is very tired, or the opposite can be true. It's good to have charity sometimes, and that's why we need chastity even in the married life. Sometimes we think that the day I will be married, I can do whatever I want. No, it's not true. We'll still have to keep chastity even during the married life. Why is it a mortal sin to separate now from your partner? We say that unlawful separation is a mortal sin. Separation is in a valid marriage is a mortal sin because, first of all, God said so. The day you are married, you stay with your wife, or the wife stay with her husband. Number two, to separate means to refuse a marriage debt, and we say that it's a mortal sin. So number three, a separated person is tempted to come back with fish for the 6 coming months. Sometimes we have to separate for some good reason, but without any reason, it's bad for all the reasons we have said. And please note the last one. Children need a father and a mother. They need both. For their balance, for their equilibrium, for their education. It is so important. So important. Girls who are growing up without a father are emotionally unbalanced most of the time, and they will jump in the arms of the first one they will find one day. Okay, which is not okay. They need a father, the girls, and And even the boys, they need their mother, they also need a dad. We need both. So from the day you marry, you don't separate. His spouse. Yes, but only if he wants to kill you, and he's already run away. Okay, you will not die. Now, if the wife serious reason, it's not happening every day. Or the husband who beats his wife to the point. But it's good. We since the marriage was done publicly, now we go to see the priest, at least the parish priest, and we sit and we explain the situation to ask for God's blessing and the way forward. Okay? Because what should be done in the first time, we should try to save this marriage. We should try to see if we can find peace in this family and continue as it used to be before. So what is important to understand here is marriage is important, and we need to think before to marry, because from the day we are married, for the good of the individuals and for the good of the children who are born from this union, we need separation cannot happen. The family needs to be together. We find sometimes some funny situations, like someone marry a lady in the village, but he works in the city. What is happening most of the time? But this man has another wife in the city. Now he has two. And he has two homes. And both wives, they don't know that. And now the man has many children, and he pays school fees for all of them. And he doesn't have money for his wives at the end of the day. This is not okay, and you can see it's not good for a man to be alone. It's not good. He should stay with his wife, and if he works in the city, the wife should come also and live in the city with him, or he goes and live in the village with her. But you don't separate without grave reason. Why is divorce and remarriage a mortal sin? Because it is clearly against the law of God. Divorce now comes, it's a consequence of unless possible the marriage. Because in Kenya, before to marry in church, people go to do a civil marriage in Sharia house, and so you are married civilly, okay? And divorce will break this civil marriage. In the eyes of God, a divorce has no value. From the day you are married in front of God, nobody can break this bond. Nobody, even the Pope cannot. So divorce has no value, and it is bad. But some people think that because they have divorced, now they can remarry. And it is what is happening sometimes. And it is clearly against the law of God. In the Gospel of St. Luke, Jesus has been very clear. Everyone that puts away his wife and marries commits adultery. And that he that marries her that is put away from her husband commits adultery. A woman, now that is St. Paul who speaks, is bound by the law as long as her husband lives. But if her husband dies, she is at liberty. Let her marry to whom she will, only in the Lord. This is another situation if, for example, your husband dies. Now the lady can marry again. It is possible, and it is possible because there is no marriage anymore. But if one of the husband is still alive, even if there is a lawful separation, it is not allowed to divorce and to marry someone else. It is not allowed. May a separated or divorced person keep company with another? No, it's not possible. Not if the marriage is valid, because such a person is still married, and a married person is never allowed to keep company with another. It will be an occasion of sin. Therefore, while her husband lives, she shall be called an adulteress if she be with another man. It is good to explain that because it's different from fornication. Fornication is a sin of impurity. Okay. Adultery is the same sin, but we add an injustice to this sin. Adultery, you commit sexual intercourse with someone who is already married. Okay, or you are already married and you commit this sin with someone else. So there is a sin of impurity and a sin against justice. That's why it's more grave to commit adultery than fornication. Both are bad, both are mortal sins, but adultery it's more grave. It is sexual intercourse between a married person and someone to whom he or she is not married. You are breaking the contract, if you want, you made the day of your religious wedding. There is another sin against marriage. If you have some questions, you can feel free to interrupt me. It is the question number 9, page 130, the sin of birth control or contraception. It is doing anything before, during, or after intercourse to keep the woman from becoming pregnant. And this was so it can be natural contraception, or it can be non-natural, for example, to take a pill. Marriage honorable in all, and the marriage bed undefiled. The problem of this sin of birth control is we want the pleasure, but we don't want the children, and this is not allowed. This is not allowed. You cannot prevent the lady of becoming pregnant. You cannot. And this is a sin that is so common nowadays, so common. If you go to Europe, any young girl in the secondary school can go to a chemist, the chemistry of the school, and get for free these pills. For free. It's a human right today. We'll speak about abortion today. Abortion is a human right in Europe, in some countries, which is absurd. Human rights are for life, not for death. And but for many people, they don't know this thing is bad of birth control. It is bad. And this first sin was committed by Onan. You know the book of Genesis. You know what he did, and God killed him for what he did. So it's serious. The people who do that deserve death penalty, at least from God. God killed Onan because of what he did. He did a detestable thing, and he died immediately after. Yes.
I was trying to think. There's a familiar song sung by a Kenyan, and he said, "If you get my pregnant, don't remove the child. Every child comes complete." Now, I sit down, and I recall from the incident that happens in our home. We used to have a worker, and that worker, he had 12 children, and the reality was not able to raise those children. Even raising one, it was difficult. So, when my father asked him, "Why do you keep making babies?" he said, "It's because we are not allowed to use what? Family planning. It's against our religion."
Yeah.
I think it was in the SDA.
I will speak about that just after, okay? Just after. But to answer, it's not because you have a problem of finance that you can kill your babies, okay? Abortion and the sin of birth control. The sin of contraception, we say, is never allowed. Never. There is something else you can do, and we will speak about it just after. Okay, it's the next page. But contraception is never allowed, because to look for the pleasure only without the children in this action is never allowed.
What about operation? Because some women will not use contraception.
Yeah, they will do sterilization. Yes, this is the next question also, but this is not allowed. Okay. Sterilization could be done like, let's say, if you have a cancer and we need to do an operation and remove a part of your body. Now you will be sterilized, but the goal of the operation is not to sterilize you. The goal of the operation is to save your life, so which is different. So that the consequence will be you will be sterilized, but that's not your fault. But what is commonly done in hospital, sometimes the doctors are not even asking the lady, is they cut the tubes during the operation, sometimes without even asking the person, so that the people don't have children after. Now, there is a huge plan in Africa to sterilize the population, where maybe you're aware, maybe you're not aware. But the US, up until Trump came on power, was spreading a lot of contraception in this country. And there are a lot of pressure from abroad on Kenya to allow abortion officially in Kenya. And it's good at the moment. Abortion is not legal in Kenya. It's happening, unfortunately, but it's not legal. It's illegal. There is a huge plan to sterilize Africa, and with all this, they will come with the name of family planning. They will come with all these things. Sometimes they don't even ask for your permission. So it's good not to be naive. If you go to hospital, don't be naive. We live in a strange world. I will answer this question very soon. What is the sin of abortion? It is killing an unborn baby. And it's one of the worst crimes someone can commit in this world. Because not only you kill, but you kill an innocent, and you kill someone who cannot defend himself. And so, such as the doctor who does that, or the lady who wants it, or the husband who pushes his wife to do so, is a coward, is a murderer, is a criminal. Is abortion ever allowed to save a mother's life? No, never. Because to take away the life of any other innocent human being, even that of an unborn human being, is always murder. Yeah, it's not because you are in danger that you are allowed to kill an innocent. It's not legitimate defense. You know what is legitimate defense? Someone is attacking your life, like say a murderer comes to kill you. If there is no other way to save your life, you can kill him, okay? But this is an extreme situation. The baby is not a murderer. The baby is not putting your life in danger. He is innocent. So you cannot kill the baby, even if you are in danger. You are not in war against your own baby. The baby cannot be killed. From just a medical point of view, abortion is not the safe and simple procedure it is made out to be. It can cause serious injuries to the woman and even death. And that the doctors, they never speak about it. An abortion is a dangerous operation because it's killing a baby, but sometimes it even kills the mother. We see even today women dying in the process of committing abortion. Women who have had abortions become sterile and miscarry more often than those who have not. Plus, abortion leads more often to tubal pregnancies than in women who have not aborted their children. At the end of the day, it's really destroying the woman's body. So first of all, it's a murder, and that's a good reason not to do it at all. But it's even coming with a lot of consequences, physical consequences and even psychological consequences on the ladies. And they have to carry that for their full life after. Doctors concede that it is always safer for the woman to come to term with her pregnancy than to have an abortion, even if this means having a cesarean. There are other ways to save lives. Okay, there are other ways. We exaggerate too much nowadays, saying that madam, you are in danger, you need to do abortion. No, there is another way. And it's good. I heard that in Nairobi there are some good hospitals. If one day you need for someone you know or for yourself good advice from a good doctor, there are good doctors still in Nairobi, good Catholic doctors, good hospitals who take care of life, and they come with solutions that maybe in the main hospitals they would never have given you. Okay, life is always welcome, and there are some good doctors in Nairobi fighting for life. Speak with them. I remember in France, some family I know, the lady was pregnant, and she was told that the baby has I don't know how to say it in English, trisomy. So he has a mental problem, basically, a very heavy disability. And the doctor said, I think, madam, you should abort this child. The lady who is Catholic said, no way, we will not do that. And the doctor truly said that, but you know, this baby will be like a bag of stone that you will have to carry your entire life. It will be a burden for you up to the last day of your life. The doctor was pushing this lady, using terrible images, to force her to commit this sin of abortion. And of course, the lady was strong, she didn't do it. But that can give you an idea of, nowadays people are pushing people to commit this sin. In Kenya, it's illegal, but it's happening too much already. It's happening too much. And it's good you're aware, and it's good if you can, where you are, you fight against this. If you're a doctor, if you're a nurse, if you're working in hospital, if you're a lawyer, fight. Because there are some organizations from outside and even from inside who are pushing for it to be accepted. In France, it is now written in our constitution. It's a human right to kill. It is written in our constitution. In the US, in some countries, it is the same. It's diabolic. It's diabolic. There is a very good movie that has been made about it. If you want to watch it, you can. It's called Unplanned. Unplanned. It's difficult to find it because, of course, whenever you are fighting for life, they try to hide your work. But this movie is very good. It is a story of a lady called Abby Johnson. She used to be the director of an abortion clinic, so she was in charge of organizing this abortion. And one day she attended an operation where an abortion was committed, and she saw what it is in reality, and she was converted immediately. And from this day she stopped her job and she joined a pro-life movement, and now she's fighting for life. We have to fight this culture of death that is in this world. People are really spreading death. What happens to a Catholic who knowingly has an abortion? So it can be the lady who does it willingly. It can be the person who is pushing for that to happen, really. It can be the doctor who does it, the nurse who cooperates closely to it. All these people are excommunicated by the church, automatically. This means that such person cannot receive the sacraments anymore, nor have a Catholic funeral. If you die after that and you were not forgiven, we will not say a public mass of requiem for you. And in the past, such people will not even be buried in a Catholic cemetery. In the past, you are really put aside of the church because you are a criminal. So that is happening if you are Catholic and if you know that there is an excommunication attached to this sin. Can an excommunicated person get back into the church? Yes, of course. There is always hope. God can forgive all the sins if this person is truly sorry for having committed the crime. However, the priest who hears his confession has to get special powers from the bishop to take away the excommunication. That was true until 2016. Up to 2016, only the Pope could forgive the sin of abortion. Meaning, if someone comes and asks a priest, goes for confession and accuses his sin, the priest says, "I'm sorry, I cannot give you absolution now. I need to ask permission to the Pope." So you pass through the bishop. It's a long process. And if the church wanted that to happen, it's because, you cannot just go to confession like that. And after, the way you accuse of any sin, and after you are okay. It was a heavy process to be forgiven for this sin. A heavy process, because it is such a grave sin. Since 2016, Pope Francis has given the power to all the priests of the world to forgive this sin. So the priest can do it now. Okay. You can go to any priest. This is how it is today. And maybe if the Pope took such a decision, it's because this sin has become so common nowadays that it would be impossible to ask Rome all the time for such a permission. But just if the church has attached this pain to this sin, this penalty to this sin, it's because this sin is bad. In a country like France, we have more than 200,000 abortions in a year. I'm not even speaking of the US. You can check on internet and see how many people are killed every month in the world because of abortion. The first cause of death in the world is abortion. Abortion is killing much more people than COVID. COVID is a joke. Yes.
Help me to understand, because some doctors will tell you life starts, we are 18 years. Life starts in a sperm cell.
Yeah, from the conception. Yeah.
Yes. But now the question I'm asking is, when we talk about abortion, we talk about women removing, right?
Mm. Not only, we also speak about the doctor doing the operation.
Yes.
It's a sin that many people commit at the same time.
But what about a man who does masturbation, because that's already, it's a life?
No, it's not life yet. No. The human life comes from the conception. So you need both a man and a woman for it. So it's not an abortion. And but it's true, the baby is a human being in the womb of his mother and after. Remember this man called Charlie Kirk? He was, maybe some of you know it, he was a famous, he was fighting for life, and he was killed in the US for what he was saying. He was killed. And he was telling people, so what is the difference between the baby one week before he is born and 1 week after he is born? Can you kill him after? No, so why are you killing him before? And people could not answer anything to what he was saying. We don't kill babies. Imagine the kind of world we live in. Sometimes we read the stories of the past and we are horrified at what they are saying. Like in Greenland, people, when you are too old, your children, they take you and they put you very far in the snow. They let you die there. Maybe they give you some food, but you die after 2 hours because of the cold. And you say, how that is so cruel. And have you seen what our world is doing today? I think we are the way people are living in this world today is far worse than than in the past. I think our society nowadays cannot speak about progress. We cannot speak about being better than in the past. Yes, maybe technically we are better. We can go into space and maybe on the moon, but at the same time, we kill babies. And we kill so many babies. It's not just one like that. We live in a bad world. And I'm saying that because when we are new in the Catholic Church, we come and we have this maybe this mindset that the world is giving us is not our fault, but we have to be told. We have to be told these things are bad. These things will not even exist. We have a wonderful technique, and we are using this technique to kill. We use it for war, but we use it for abortion. We use it. We have such a good knowledge of the human body, and instead of using it for life, we are using it for death. And this is the world we live in. What is the point of being bright if we use our wisdom for bad purposes? Yes.
There are misuse of science because did God give the human beings the knowledge to invent all these things just for, not for exterminating other human beings, but for...
God has given us our skills for His glory. God has given us all our skills so that we can glorify Him, and also so that we can make this life in this world good. Unfortunately, He has created. Not unfortunately, it's not good. There are many ways to do it. Most men can do it, ladies can do it. This sterilization can be done for a short time, but it can also be done forever. So it depends on the situation. What kind of sin is sterilization? Sterilization is always a mortal sin, unless the organs are diseased and must be removed because they are a danger to the health of the whole body. And what we speak about, let's speak about sterilization in general. You are not allowed to cut your body. Well, even your finger. I find myself more beautiful with 4 fingers. Let me cut one, okay? Even if you find yourself more beautiful with 4 fingers, you cannot cut your 5th finger, okay? Because our body doesn't belong to us. It belongs to God. We have been given the use of this body by God, but this body belongs to God. When we believe that when we are in a state of grace, we are the temple of the Holy Ghost, and therefore we need to take care of this body. For the same reason, we spoke about it in the past, we don't burn bodies. We don't do cremation after people have died. We respect bodies. So we are not allowed to cut ourselves. Of course, there are some exceptions. Let's say I have an infection starting here, and the only way to save my life is to cut my arm. I will have to cut it. Okay? Because the part is at the service of the whole. That's the principle of philosophy. So if one finger is putting your full body in danger, you can cut it. Okay. But this is exceptional. Okay. So for the same reason, sterilization, which is a kind of mutilation somehow, we are, for example, cutting the fallopian tubes, to do it just because we don't want because we don't want children, this is not allowed. It is not allowed. What could happen is, again, because of a sickness, now we need to remove some part of the body. If we remove this part, it's not because we want sterilization, it is because we want to save the life. So this is different, and this is acceptable, and this would not be a sin. But just to do it like that is not okay. A woman is never allowed to have her tubes tied, nor a man allowed to have a vasectomy under any conditions, even under the doctor's order. The doctor says so, yes, but the doctor is not God. And there are many doctors, again, who have this agenda. They are lying to you, telling you that it's needed when it's not needed. I think they will tell you, I think, madam, you had too many children. Too many. In the past, people were having huge families. Nowadays, from the third born, we are telling you, you are too many. We are too many on the planet. This is what we are saying nowadays. We are taking care of the koala and the white bear, but we are not taking care. We have too many human beings. So I think you need a cesarean. So they will do this cesarean a lot, because when you have a cesarean, as you know, it's a huge operation. You cannot have so many babies after. They will tell you need a cesarean when you don't need. They will tell you we need to sterilize you when you don't need. So you have to stand firm and say no. A woman is never allowed to have her tubes tied, nor a man allowed to have vasectomy. If there is serious danger to the woman's life or health, the only solution is, in accord with God's law, is to refrain from sexual intercourse totally or periodically. This is an idea that I think I will develop next week. I'm sorry I could not finish the lesson today, but there are some situations where the husband and the wife will have to abstain from sexual intercourse for a while, and sometimes even forever, sometimes. And this is possible. Okay. It's not the norm, it's not happening every day, this kind of situation, but this situation can happen. And people think it's impossible, but it is possible, with the help of God. Okay, these situations are exceptional, it's not happening every day. Okay, it's not happening every day, but it is possible, and there are some families who did it, and they show us that it is possible. I will explain. I'm sure you have many more questions. You can ask them to me, even in private after the Mass or during the week if you see me. We can speak more about it. I will develop more this last aspect next week. I will speak about periodic continence as well, and I will at this moment answer your question. Okay. Because there are some moments in the cycle of the woman where the woman is infertile, and so if you have sexual intercourse during this time, there are no children at this moment. It is not immoral to use a marriage during this period. But if we use a marriage only during this period, this shows that we have a contraceptive mindset, which is not okay. Okay. So I will speak more about it next week. It's not the most interesting topic of our catechism, but we need to speak about it. Catholic, our catechism is not only about faith. It's also about moral. It's not only about what we need to believe, it's also about what we need to do and what we should not do. And we need to be taught these things. There are some things that are, at a natural point of view, they are obvious, but because of the original sin, because of this bad world, they are not obvious anymore, and we need to be told. That's why. Please ask me questions during the week. You can call me. If you don't have my phone number, I can give it to you. Please, or you can come and we have a discussion here. The goal of this catechism is to bring light and not to bring darkness. So if you don't understand, ask. I am at your disposition after the Mass. Let us finish with a prayer.